Have you ever wondered what to do with excess tomatoes to keep them from going bad? Today, we are here at the Agro-Processing Unit in the Central Farm Research and Development Center in the Cayo district to show you how to preserve tomatoes.
Good day, folks. Today we're here with Ms. Anna Howe, an Agro-Processing Extension Officer with the Ministry of Agriculture. Today, Ms. Anna will be showing us how to preserve local tomatoes.
Mr. Emil, welcome to the Agro-Processing Unit.
Thank you for having me, Anna.
For this process, we will need jars, lids, knife, jar lifter, pot, water, salt, measuring spoon, and tomatoes. In preparation for the preservation process, first we must properly wash the jars and lids, then place in the pot of water and leave to boil for 10 minutes.
Now, Anna, for viewers at home wanting to preserve local tomatoes, can they use any type of jar?
Yes, you can use any jars. You can use new jars or recycled jars.
Nice.
If you're using recycled jars, make sure that the rubber on the lids are not damaged and you cannot use plastic covers. Ensure that the tomatoes are properly washed in clean potable water. Then cut off the top and score the bottom of the tomatoes to make peeling easier after boiling.
Hey Anna, what type of tomatoes can be used?
You can use any variety of tomatoes as long as it is ripe and blemish-free.
Is it necessary to peel the tomatoes before bottling?
It is not necessary to peel the tomatoes. It depends on your liking. You can choose to peel the tomatoes or not. Place the tomatoes in the water and leave to boil for 10 to 15 minutes. Now add half teaspoon of salt to each jar and fill the jars with the boiled tomatoes. Then you add the same water used to boil the tomatoes to the jar. Make sure that the rims of the jars are properly clean. Then you cover the jars with the lids tightly.
What are the advantages of preserving local tomatoes, Anna?
It provides a longer shelf life and you can make a variety of byproducts from the canned whole tomatoes. For example, you can do homemade pizza sauce, you can do salsa, you can do tomato juice, and various other products.
Did you know that boiling tomatoes can increase its phytochemical levels? These compounds can be found in fruits and vegetables. Phytochemical compounds help protect cells from damage that may lead to cancer.
To finalize the preservation process, place all sealed jars into a large pot with water. Ensure that the water is above all the jars. Leave the jars to boil for 20 minutes.
Anna, why do we boil these jars?
Boiling the jars helps with sealing and pressurizing the content inside the jars. It prevents air from entering inside the jars that can shorten the shelf life of the tomatoes. After boiling, remove the jars from the pot and place on a towel, cutting board, or any natural cooling area and allow to fully cool.
Anna, how can we verify that these jars are properly sealed?
To verify that the jars are properly sealed, push down on the center of the lids of cool jars and ensure that they are solid and do not have a pop-up effect. If it has a pop-up effect, the process of boiling needs to be repeated. Lastly, label each jar with the production date. Ensure to use the oldest dated product first.
There you have it, folks. Preserved tomatoes, an easy do-it-yourself process. Remember, let us all reduce food waste by buying local and supporting our small farmers.
Today's educational video of preserving local tomatoes is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture, Agro-Processing Unit, and the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation.